welcome everyone. Welcome to the Board Game Design Variety Hour. I'm your host, Matthew Dunson. Hope you're all well on this fine Monday. Sorry everyone that I'm running a bit late today, but I wasn't trying to troll anybody, so hope it was okay. Thanks everyone who's already joined the chat and having some fun there. Alex and Hal and Robin and Jay. Welcome, and happy birthday, Alex. I didn't know it was your birthday. Very happy birthday to you. Hope and Zate's here as well. So I hope everyone's doing well. How are you on this fine Monday? Hope you all had a good weekend. Played some games if possible. Hey Rory, how you going? Nice to see you here. Yeah, it's I've sort of been a bit behind the eight ball all of today, really. But no, that's fine. That's fine. And I'm trying to basically to walk at least outside at least once every day because I think staying inside all the time is a little bit it's not such a good idea. So like very before this, I was like, I haven't been out today. I need to get out. So I went for a very quick walk, and that was good. That was good. Good for thinking about games. That's how I have to. For me, when I'm working on a new idea, I have to walk around. So I always take the same route. Basically, it's almost basically automatic. Yeah, so it's just for me, it's just I have to keep the rest of my body busy while I think of other things. Sorry to hear that. Well, I mean, hope it's good life, etc. Yeah, it could be tricky to fit everything in. I didn't actually play that many games over the weekend either, to be honest. Or I've still there's still just enough sort of different projects and things which I'm working on little bits and pieces of all the time. It seems that's keeping me busy. Zayt said she got to try out Escape Tales Low Memory that Dutch Yoda sent me. It was long, took us about 4 hours. Oh, interesting. I'd like to try the Escape Tales. I've heard. I mean, just kind of almost out of professional curiosity at this point. It would be good to see what they're doing because I think there's some similarity to the adventure games in some way. I know they're quite a bit more adult, but it'd be interesting to know what's going on there, I guess. But that's good. That's good. So, thanks very much, Zay. And we actually discovered a bit of different television this weekend. Not that we had a brief change from looking at MasterChef Canada. And I know I'm very late to the party, but we watched Broadchurch, which is, for those who don't know, an English crime drama series, which we watched the first season, which is actually quite old now. I think it's about 8 years old. But it was fantastic. We watched basically all 8 episodes over the weekend, and I'm sort of amazed that I didn't watch it all this time. It's sort of strange. It's something I'm almost, in the end, have probably inherited from my mother, who's a huge fan of all these crime series, especially anything from the BBC. And over time I've become more and more like her, and watching more and more of these kind of series. And yeah, it's kind of incredible actually how many that kind of get made in the UK. So anyway, that was I can certainly recommend it if you like crime dramas. It's beautifully shot. And Teresa, who is all about film, she had to begrudgingly say that it was very very well shot for a TV series. So I see. So Robin says season 2 was okay. So yeah, I guess probably the first season. I haven't watched the second season yet. I'm intrigued to see how they followed up. And season 3 hasn't been put on Netflix. Yeah, I think actually, here, strangely enough, they have the 3rd season already. Yeah, I think the Czech Republic we're pretty advantaged. I think in terms of what gets put on Netflix. I think they seem to have pretty good deals with a lot of things. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. Alex says I was recommended Steven Universe, so watched a few of those. It's very different to Broadchurch. I can imagine it probably would be. Definitely. So today, I continuing my run of disorganization. I should probably give up the game as to the hope of ever actually being organized for the stream. I mean, actually, this week I'm going to be streaming a bit, quite a bit, not just on this channel, but I'll be on Bez's channel tomorrow and on Thursday for a little bit. So it's going to be a full week. I guess I'll be streaming pretty much every day at some point. So that's why I'm sort of keeping it a little bit easy. But I'd like to work a little bit on. It's been a while since we've looked at continents. In fact, I haven't I've sort of kept my my promise to not work on the game outside of the stream, and I haven't. Yeah, I thought I could have a bit of a look at it, and we could have a chat, and yeah, kind of see what's going on. So I'm gonna open it up here. Just close a different file. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so share. Maybe that. Maybe just the entire screen is better. Okay, so yeah, so this is where we were sort of at the end of the last stream with shapes and animals and things. And I think I guess this is going to be a bit of a I mean, maybe it's going to be more. I'm not sure how much we're going to get done in terms of playing this stream, but I think it's going to be, maybe it'll be useful as a bit of insight about where you're at when you're at a bit of a juncture in a design, and which way to go from there. About iteration generally. So hopefully this will be interesting. A look into my thought process, how I think about these games, these things, and moving forward with the design. So at the top of the thing, I think when we played the game before, there are quite a few things that I think are really nice about the game. I think the kind of having the chains of the animals in a particular order is very thematic. Having to have all the animals feed. I really like how the land masses form in the game. I really like, so for those who missed previous games, in the game it's sort of a flip and fill, or a roll and write in this case. Basically, you're going to fill in each of these hexes, and they're either going to be land or they're going to be water. And if they're land, then they might have an animal on them. And the lands have different habitats essentially, and so there's various scoring for patterns of particular habitats and patterns of particular animals. And there's all these kind of special scoring conditions. You get one from each category in each game, and you're kind of randomly every turn you're rolling a couple of dice, and the sum of the die basically tells you in which column are you gonna put a new bit of water. And the interesting thing, I think, is that, and yeah, I mean, the interesting thing is that on reflection with the game, and with discussion with people from chat, and who's been very kindly sort of reached out at various points, one of the things is that there are some similarities to some existing games. Cascadia from Flatout has come out not that long ago, or was kickstarted. I guess it's not released just yet, and that has animals on different habitats and different patterns and things. And the general thing is not necessarily that unique, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be absolutely unique. And it also got me thinking, there is a part of me that it feels like a little bit more of a complicated roll and write, in that, you need to have two symbols on every thing to, if you want the habitat and the animal, and that feels a bit clunky. And I feel like it's going to get, in the real game, you don't want the animals to be letters and you don't want the habitats to be shapes necessarily, but it's going to ask a lot from kind of drawing skills to even make it look very good. I think it will look very. I just don't think it will look very good. I think is a fair point, and that concerns me a little bit. And so I was really thinking about that. It would be. Yeah, I do agree that they are different. I suppose my thinking. I'm motivated by these changes by more things than just the reference to Cascadia. That's definitely true. But I think I guess it probably started the thought process about what's necessary in the game, not necessarily that it was necessary to change. Sorry, I think the issue it just made me think, there's that classic sort of thing of where's the fun? And I really have this feeling that I'd like to simplify it a little bit. I'd like to simplify the look. And I think there is a point where, at the very start, you just want to get started with the game. You want to try something. You want to throw it on the board. But on a bit of reflection, the other thing with this roll and write kind of idea is how practically are people going to draw on this? How are they going to make it look reasonable? And I think that's a bit of an issue, especially with the double symbol on on the things. I don't really know how that's going to work, and I think it's a bit not so complicated, but there's something about it's not exactly like very friendly to sort of, you know, a more casual audience. So then it makes me think, well, what's the more interesting part of the game? And I actually think that the shape of the land and how that comes out, I really like that story. I think it's an interesting puzzle. I like that it's a puzzle you can't control completely. I think that's very interesting. I like that there's the contrast between like the choice of you know, that you get to choose where you're going to put new land, but then the water comes kind of randomly, and you're sort of trying to hedge your bets and you're trying to work things out. And I think that's actually really great. I think that's a really interesting thing. And so, yeah, it kind of, yeah, so it got me thinking more, and I thought, well, do I actually really need the animals? I think was the point, because if you don't have the animals, then you can just have habitats. It's very clean. You can have them being symbols, and you know, you've got water that's in between that, and you kind of keep, I think, the main structure of the game. In some ways, you actually make it simpler, because if you stick with the rolling 2 dice thing, then you either could, oh, don't worry, Rob, I was also late. I was 10 minutes late today, so you are almost on time, actually. We're talking about continents and changes to it. So basically, I'm sort of thinking, yeah, thinking of getting rid of that. And if you're then rolling 2 dice, I still like the 2 dice and the dice effectively determining which column you're in. I think that's kind of nice. I think that's sort of kind of simple and easy, and I like that. But then it has to be like when you have 2 dice, you know, basically you could basically get 2. Maybe you get to do 2 habitats each turn. So it's like 2 to 1 in terms of water, and this is where I'm going to yet again count up the number of spaces on this. This is 4, 9, 15, 22, 44 plus 8, which is 52, which is not divisible by 3, but could probably make it divisible by 3 pretty easily. If we got rid of this, I think. Oh no, that won't quite work. Yeah, there's probably a way that it could work, I would say. So I guess that's where my thinking is at the moment. And then it's sort of getting to like, well, what's the sort of easiest thing, you know, to make it all work. I mean, one thing possibly is to make the board that I'm sort of thinking about is there might be a way to make the I need to get the layers here. Where are the layers? View. Oh gosh. View window layers. Oh yes. Right hand side. Oh, there it was. It was there all on. Oh, actually, I'll just quickly save this as a new file. So yeah, just some random thoughts is, if I get rid of one row here, and it does make it a bit smaller, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the right thing. I'll also change all these back to being just normal white. Because I was just sort of thinking about, well, maybe you don't need that. But the interesting thing is that you could have, there's potentially a way. So if this starts as water, now I think we're okay. We have 7, 12, 18, 36. So this is divisible by 3. So we're fine for that. And it also potentially gives you the ability to, if I do these in like numbers, playing cards. So playing cards is this really cool font that is like dice essentially, which I quite like. So like a 1 is a 1 die face, a 2 is a 2 die face. What you can do, interestingly, is I don't really know where this is going exactly, but it does let you do something like this where you can actually put dice like it's closer to what it could be. I don't know. I don't exactly know where I'm going with this, to be perfectly honest. Stop me. It's not so interesting. But what I'm kind of thinking, my thought process is this idea that you, like, instead of this water being a little bit more amorphous, there could be the senses. When I roll the 2 dice, say I roll a 1 and a 2, that's 3. So it's going to be in this column. I then look at whichever has the lowest, and maybe I just get rid of one. So I look at which is the lowest number in the roll. So in that case, it's the 1. That means this is the one that has to be the water, for example. It doesn't really work now that I think about it. So maybe that's wrong. 12 turns sounds about right, though. I think like the 36 spaces. So like this is probably the right size of the board. Yeah, I guess I'm thinking out loud how to make that. Yeah, because you want the choice to be kind of automatic where the water goes, but you want it to be automatic and somewhat predictable, so the players can sort of play around with that. So that's sort of one thing I've got to work on. So if I kind of go to work, oh gosh, I'm still in playing cards. Myriad, to think about where does water go, and can I put land anywhere? That's getting to the kind of the core of the core of this game is, and we don't have the animals anymore, so that's really kind of easy, which is good. Get rid of this, for example. I mean, you could have monoliths. Yeah, so this is where I'm at. I mean, another option is to go to I could go to a square grid, and I could use I could have 1 to 6 on one side and 1 to 6 on the other side, and you could have the sense that the water goes at the intersection of the two numbers or something like that. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But then it's sort of completely random. Yeah. So yes, that's one thing I'm sort of struggling with. And then, yeah, if you have that rule, can you put land anywhere? So like, does it have any relationship to the water you placed, or just put it anywhere? I mean, I guess putting land anywhere is probably a good thing, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, as you can tell, I sort of have an idea of like what I would like to try, but it's still trying to work out how I should change it. Robin says, so if you're rolling 2 dice and the combined value relates to where water is placed and 1 die relates to the type of habitat, what does the other die? So I would think that now you would use each of the dice separately to place 2 habitats. So like if I had a 3 and a 4, I would get 1 triangle and 1 square habitat, for example. So every turn I'm putting in 2 land and 1 water, essentially. That's what I'm currently thinking of, which in some ways is quite clear. It'll sort of, it'll depend. We'll just have to see, like, is that the kind of right length for the game? Is it the right amount of water? I mean, as I think about it, maybe not. I don't know. It's a bit hard to say. I mean, you'll end up with 13 water spaces, which I'm just sort of thinking, like, what could that actually look like? If you had what's 13 water spaces? And then you could have like these 3. So I guess is this interesting? Is the kind of the point? Or maybe it's going to have to be something. I mean, you kind of want the water to. Oh yes, hey Roses, how you going? Welcome. Yeah, so it's a roll and write game where you're kind of, it's like continents coming out of the primordial soup or something like that, and you roll a pair of dice. The total of the dice, so the 2 dice together, will tell you where you have to put water. And I'm currently trying to think, it should be automatic. It shouldn't be a player choice. And then with the 2 dice, you get to put 2 spaces and make them into land, like permanently. So once something water or is land, it's that permanently for the rest of the game. And there are 6 different habitats, 1 for each of the 6 die faces, and you choose. So, you know, like if I rolled a 1 and a 6, I'd have to put a water in an empty space in the 7 column, and I'd put like a circle habitat on one other empty space and a hexagon habitat in another empty space. And then there's, you know, various scoring for, you know, how the habitats are arranged next to each other, what's the shape of the continents, and things like that. So yeah, that's the kind of thing. Yeah, so I've got to think about how can I, because right now there's some restriction about where the water goes based on what you roll. But you know, how should that work, I guess, is one idea. And also, can I put the land anywhere? Can I put the habitats anywhere when I roll? Is a completely free choice. So that's the kind of, you know, where I am in terms of that kind of thinking. And I have to admit, I'm a bit more stumped than I thought I would be. I was sort of thinking as I might be chatting on stream, and you know, that might help me kind of think through it. But like, I don't think I want this. I don't want there to be like double water. I mean, maybe there has to be a rule that water can never, you can't put another water so that it would be adjacent to like 2 or more, because you kind of want them to be naturally sort of, yeah, you want them to be naturally kind of diverging. Robin says, if the central hex is water at the start of the game, that means there are 6 surrounding hexes. There are 6 sides to the dice. Could you have the water move off of the central space based on one die? Yeah, you could actually. That's true. You could. No, that's interesting, actually. Yeah. Yeah, that might not actually be a completely crazy idea. You know, I guess the idea is that, so, you know, I roll a dice and I roll a 1 and 1 is up, so this goes here. I mean, is there a sense then that you have like a leading die, like this is my new kind of space, you know, this is my kind of champion space or something like that? Maybe. And then, you know, I roll a 6 and that goes off this direction, and I go up here. The more water has, the more choices you have where it flows. Yeah. I mean, I still like this rules of it. Like, I wouldn't be able to put water here, for example, because I think, yeah, you don't want it to like pool. You don't want to make big lakes. I don't think that's, you kind of want things. What happens if that direction is already filled? Well, I guess the point is that you could start from different ends of the water. Yeah. It's a bit complicated. And it's getting a bit outside of that kind of like breezy roll and write kind of thing. Yeah. And I'm aware that Set Sail also uses a dice directional mechanic, so I've sort of, there's also a part of me that wanted to kind of like not do that in a way, like yeah, not tread on Rory's excellent creation already. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I I don't have anything. Yeah, I've got. It's not a thing where I expect chat to fix my problems, but I guess the thing is I probably have to do a little bit more mulling over. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, Rory had the problem with having, yeah, that it's much better having point direction, point to point, rather than having kind of big islands or things like that. Yeah. No, I think I would like to probably avoid it, but yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, I might I might give that a break, I guess. That was a slightly abortive attempt at working on it, but you know, that happened. I think that's maybe a very good example of what sometimes happens. You sort of sit down, you have a bit of an idea, you know, it either kind of, you know, sticks or not. Alex says, would a grid system work? So the sum a 4 or a 3 would give you 2 options to place water. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I I like the hexes in a way because they look slightly more natural. But yeah, you could have a grid system or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think the other thing I may be struggling with a little bit is I don't like I don't have like the key thing that makes the game. Like, why am I working on this game and not other games? For me right now, it's like missing some central like novelty or central kind of thought that's kind of bringing it all together that is giving me a really clear direction in the way I'm going. Like, I think I have an interesting like kind of, it feels like a set of mechanisms right now, but not a coherent game. And I think with those, I've sort of learned, or at least I prefer at the moment to just sort of, you know, put them to the side a little bit and let them gestate until I have a clearer idea of what I want to do, I think. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, as Rory says, that's game design for you. Yes. Bez pointed out during Articon, you can still have a grid system with hexes. That's true. That's true. You can have, yeah, different coordinates across the three sides. But that also just gets, yeah, that again, it just feels like it's lifting it out of like a more casual, breezy kind of roll and write, which is what I guess I was hoping for it to be. Rob says back to the drawing bag. Yeah. It did start as a bag building game, didn't it? Yeah. I saw there's that new bag building game AEG is going to kickstart. What is it called? Like Dungeons and something. It's another fantasy themed sort of thing. It's actually interesting. I have and that maybe it's me always jumping around trying to like chase the next thing, but the last couple of days I had actually AEG just passed on a prototype of mine, and I was just chatting them. I like to think, like, I like to ask for feedback and also to get a sense of, you know, where's the company at, what are they looking for right now, and based on what they said, which wasn't John didn't say anything in terms of what they're looking for. You know, it's basically I want more. You know, they want more games that, you know, kind of vaguely match what AEG does, but that kind of makes me want to go on and actually work on a game specifically for that. I had a good idea of a kind of an engine building AEG kind of Tiny Towns-esque kind of thing, which could be cool. So maybe I was working on it a little bit before the stream, and I might work on it a bit after that stream. Yeah, I think I'm realizing that I don't necessarily, or like working on stream is not a good way to kind of let me think outside the box, if that makes sense. Oh, okay, so it's a Danish designer, Ole Stoners. Do you know him or her? Ole, I think is a man's name. Oh, Champions of Midgard. I see. Dungeons and Meeples or something like that. Yeah, I could probably. I feel like I should. Where would I find? It's probably going to be an older act somewhere because they've been asking people to kind of like it and all that sort of stuff. Meeples and Monsters. That's what it is. Yeah, I can. Yeah, this is it. Oh, Jay also knows him from Copenhagen. Yeah, you're right, Alex. It's true. John Zinzer, the CEO of AEG, went on to the Think Like a Game Designer podcast. I also listened to it. It was a really good. I hadn't heard quite a few of the stories, of those sort of stories, but I think it's super interesting, and it definitely like reminded me of games that I want to kind of keep trying to make, you know, because I think these kind of engine building kind of games are also things I really like, deck building and things like that. So it's always a good impetus to want to make a game along those lines, and knowing that there's a publisher that's always sort of actively looking for those things is really good. So yeah, I've had a good idea. Well, we'll see if it's a good idea. I haven't, but I've started working on the prototype, which is pretty good. Normally I take longer from like when I have the first idea to actually starting work on it, but I only thought of it yesterday and I've already started working on it. So that's a good thing. It's one of those, I take genre A and genre B and put them together and see what is happening. But but anyway, so what might I do? I think I'll just thinking maybe we'll do a little bit of tiny islands. It's going to be a bit of a weird stream, I think, but Alex, thanks. Maybe the water shouldn't be placed each round. That's true. Yeah, I think. Yeah, to be honest, I think at this point it's weird. I get to certain points and I just think that I have to. But you are right. It floods at the end could be interesting. But I kind of liked that it's sort of forming all the same time. There was something nice about it sort of coming out of that. Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. Actually, I'll reshare, I think. Application window. Tab even. So, yeah, this is not exactly the sparkling discourse everyone's tuning in for. It's called Meeples and Monsters, Robin. Yes, but thank you all in chat who've been very helpful with some suggestions. I realized that even trying to think about it, I've got some sort of obstruction in my head. So I think I'm just gonna when I hit that, I just I know it doesn't help me to get through it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go for it. So I think actually that if I remember rightly, I think Mondays is Golf Mondays on Ross's Discord for Tiny Islands. I think Mondays is where you have to try and get, so you're trying to get the lowest score. Where are we? It's been a while since I've actually done the daily thing. Yeah, so it is Golf Monday. So yeah, trying to get the lowest score basically. So if anyone wants to join in with the Daily Shuffle, feel free. Otherwise, I will be going. Meeples and Meeples. No, Meeples and Monsters is the Meeples and Monsters. Yeah, so I'm going to try some golf. So I guess if I put some coast, stick some islands here. So I obviously want the forest to be as far away from each other as possible. A church gives stuff for, so yeah, I can try and get churches on the same island, maybe. That could work. Could work. I might try and stick something here. Meeple has no place in a game tile. Yeah, it's quite. Yeah, I don't know what to think about that in a way. Yeah, I mean, it's just they know their audience, I guess. Meeple is trademarked. I don't think Meeple is trademarked. I mean, I don't even know if in the original Carcassonne if it's actually called a Meeple directly, but I might be wrong. I'm going to try and put the two churches on the same island. But yeah, I guess they know the audience, and they are. I mean, you're looking at a more kind of niche audience, I guess. But that's when you look at the game, I think it's obvious that, and it makes sense that it's on it's on Kickstarter versus a general release, I guess. Also makes sense. Great. So I'm going to have to get 2 points from this wave, unless I manage to make them go next to each other. Okay, I can put this somewhere in the middle. Let's see. I can keep putting mountains on this island, and now I will just make a very long. Can I basically? Yes, what an interesting island. I will not get re-addicted. Sorry, Zaid. I'm not very good for those who are addicted to this game. Oh, excellent. I can now make this wave score nothing by putting it next to it there. I can continue to put waves in the middle of the ocean. I don't want that. I'll keep putting these here. I can put waves in the same row or column. Oh, I see. Interesting. Someone trademarked Meeple in 2018. Interesting. For t-shirts, but it looked like they abandoned it. Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing is, like, trademarks and copyrights are only useful if you can enforce it, right? If you can't enforce it, it's not really doing much. Yeah, this is feeling like a pretty good set of things at the moment. Okay, I might put a house over here. Try and keep it isolated. Oh, great! I can keep dumping churches on here all day, every day, and I can have some isolated trees, which is good. And I can keep putting waves in the same row column. Also fine. Again, I can have waves. Well, I can have as many waves as I want, it seems. Don't have any problems there. I'll just make a little island down there. There are 32 games on BGG with Meeple in the title. 2 in the top 1,000, 9 total ranked. Okay, so there's actually a reasonable number. I hadn't thought to think about that. Well, we've got no problems with just dump all the trees onto here and make them sort of isolated. I think either way, this is going to be a... Okay, so maybe I'm going to make a little island in the middle here, I guess. Yeah, probably. Oh no! Oh no. I'm going to have to score some points. A bit annoying. Oh, I don't necessarily. I can put the tree here, and I won't have to... Yeah, let's do that, actually. Oh, great. I can just keep putting waves in the same thing. No problem. I guess this is quite easy by being able to, like, do... Golf is a lot easier when you can just put... like, continually put the same thing over and over again. I guess house... Oh, I can put a house down here, which is good. Oh, that's not going to be good. So I'm going to have to put a house somewhere along here. And the only thing, I mean, this is next to 2. That's the best I can do. So Rob's going to trademark dice. Yeah, somehow I don't think that is going to work the way you want it to. Okay, so it's going to have to be coast. Oh, damn it. No, I got kind of stitched up a little bit here at the end. Well, I can just do it. It can just be 1, I guess. That's fine. And then we can just have more waves in the same thing. And then I just have to make sure that I avoid all the coastline. Great. So yeah, that is my Golf Monday score. I'm hoping it's going to be pretty small. It's not going to be 0, but it's going to be pretty good, I think. I think 3 points, maybe. Yeah, but it worked out getting lots of waves there. Yeah, it's like I just hope that I remembered how to score. So I think all of these should be 0. Cool. All the forest should also be 0. All the mountains should be 0. And I don't have any penalties. So yeah, that's 3 points. Woohoo! But I'm guessing that that's a somewhat easier one than normal. Just going off to see what the score on. Oh yes, there are some. Where are we on golf? No, that's yesterday. today. No, hold on, it's wrong. So someone got 6. Someone got 1. Wow, well done. Well done. I will post how I did on Ross's. So yeah, if anyone doesn't know, head over to Ross's Discord. Great place to, more games please. Great place to hang out, and lots of fun little daily challenges. Actually, I have to edit that. Oh shoot. No. Oh, I've screwed it up, everyone. I have I have to put it. I have to remember to put it in spoiler tags. Oops. Okay, now it doesn't seem to want to work, but that's fine. Take care, Rory. Good luck with the prototype building. Hope it goes well. Yeah, so we're coming up to the hour. It's been a bit of a weird set of things, but anyway, I think my mind's a bit all over the place today, unfortunately. But yeah, you can see that the designing doesn't always flow as smoothly as you might want it to. That might do it for me today. I think I just a bit scatterbrained, and I just need to kind of like take a little bit of a break away from the computer, ideally, because it's also been a bit of a busy working day. But I hope everyone's well. I hope. Sorry if it was not particularly interesting today, but thank you everyone who does pop by. It's always nice to see everyone. I'm on Beza Stream tomorrow morning from 10 a.m. UK time. I think yes, 10 a.m. UK time, along with Alan and Rita, Alan Paul and Rita Modal, and we'll be talking about playtesting, I believe. And I'll be back for the board game Cuppa. Will be back on Wednesday morning as well. Also at 9 a.m. UK time. Alex asks, how am I doing anyway? How am I doing? I'm fine. I'm fine. I think yeah, it's just normal, strange times with things. You know, I think it's I'm just hoping that, you know, the world can return to normal sometime. You know, it's obviously been a long time since I've seen my family in Australia, and you know, we're thinking, you know, it's also trying to plan various larger life choices at the moment, and that's all a bit up in the air. So, but we'll see. I'll be fine. But thanks very much for asking, Alex. Hope you're well. Also, I'm a little bit saddened that my Kano, my favorite Norwegian Eurovision act, didn't make it through the Norwegian finals on the weekend. That was a bit sad, but a very small minor thing compared to the pandemic. Hey Nicola, how are you going? Welcome. Thanks for dropping by, and thanks for saying hi. That's really kind. Yeah, you didn't miss much today. I was a bit of a mess. I have to admit, generally, I think and I've said it the last few streams, it is strange more often than not that I'm feeling, especially with these afternoon streams, there are, like the last few times, like 2 or 3 times, I've definitely felt like that I would like to keep working, or that I'm feeling like the streaming is not getting in the way, but it's just, you know, it's feeling more and more like an obligation. And I don't want it to be like that. I want to be doing because I enjoy it. So I am starting to think about how I might possibly change up how I'm doing. One thing I was thinking about is changing to really just doing like 2 mornings a week. So maybe like Monday and Wednesday mornings or something like that at the sort of 9 a.m. UK time, because I think mornings might fit better possibly, just with my day. I think there's a little bit, and maybe it was just with the weather as well. Like I'm a very like light kind of person. I don't know whether it's the Australian in me, but in summer I work a lot better because there's just more sunlight and I can get up earlier and I can work later. And obviously during the winter, which has been basically all the time I've been streaming, you know, once it got to about this time, it was dark and I didn't really feel like working, so it made a good sense. Hey Ross, how you going? No, thanks. I mean, Ross, you've written a lot of really amazing things about streaming, and thank you for that. I mean, definitely one of my role models in the whole streaming thing. Yeah, and Ross the same, only streams twice a week. So no, I think, well, I mean, I should say, of course, Ross, yeah, as they says, twice a week for 56 hours each time. You know, Ross, you do an amazing job and stream a lot more intensely than I do. I think the other thing I am still sort of working out. Oh, and we do have actually. I could say that in the plan is Michael Fox, myself, Bez, and Amari Akil from the US. We're going to do a joint stream in a few weeks, I think, and we're going to be chatting about being a board game designer on Twitch and chatting about how we approach that and things like that. Oh, thanks, Jay. Yeah. No, I mean, the funny thing is I quite enjoy the chatting and I enjoy the sort of the interaction, but I worry that's not very useful to people. Ultimately, like I think, it's I don't know. I'm not an entertainer, so I sort of always thought of myself as a game designer, and that the purpose of the stream was to sort of help people learn about game design and different aspects to it and give a bit of an insight. But I think if I do that, it just creates a bit of a rod for my back in terms of like I want to prepare things, I want to prepare topics and talk about them and kind of do them justice. But that means you have to be ready for it, and I guess maybe cutting it down a bit or being a bit more general kind of chat. Like I'm kind of happy to chat and like go where the discussion goes, I guess, but it's it's a bit hard to know. Nicholas says I'm the same in winter versus summer. Maybe it's to do with the south as well. Maybe I think seasonal moods are very common. I don't think I'm not sure if that's a completely a north versus south thing. It definitely gets darker. This is more north than Australia is south, if that makes sense. So the kind of the swing in winter isn't as pronounced in Australia anyway. I think that's the other thing that probably still took me a long time. And I mean, I still am not really used to it completely, but maybe the mornings is also another way it might lend itself to a more chill stream. I think it's just trying to work out, like what I actually want to do. It's sort of interesting. Like it has really been a whole mix of things, and I kind of like that. That's me. That's what I'm interested in. And hopefully people come along with the ride. And I guess there's a lot of weird sort of like meta-y kind of things, which are probably not that very interesting about streaming, but just trying to think about, exactly finding out what you enjoy doing. How does that fit into kind of a routine? And Jay says, I think we enjoy the chatting too. Oh, great. Well, no, thank you. That's very kind. No, I'm glad, and I'm still kind of amazed that people sort of keep turning up and for random chat. So anyway, I mean, it's not emotionally, it's not that bad. I think it's just I get a bit worried when things start feeling like work and an obligation, because for me, Twitch is not ever going to be my like my profession or my and I don't want it to kind of feel like it's like another obligation on top of like the other things I already have to do. So yeah, we'll see. I think maybe I might give it a bit of a try and switch to like 2 mornings a week and have it much more like the Board Game Cuppa, where it's just a random chat and thing. Russ says, you've always got to ensure you ultimately get more out than you put in. That's how I feel about all side projects. Yeah, it's a fair point. I mean, it sounds a bit stupid and maybe like it's not that altruistic. I mean, I'd like to give something back to the community, I guess. Like for me, I don't mind that. Like, it's not that I want it to be work, but I also don't mind that I'm putting in some effort and that might help some people in terms of designing. And I like, it's a way to kind of create, resources of a sort that designers could use when thinking about, beginning as a game designer. So yeah, I don't mind that, but I think, it has to kind of be sustainable and has to be, giving back is just a feeling of doing good, which is itself, that's true. That is true. So I think it's finding the efficient way to do that, I guess. And how does that fit with the audience and these sort of things. So anyway, it's more wondering about things. And I think I've also, there's still things that sort of irk me that I haven't kind of like put in some time to like make proper graphics and things like that, which is always my kind of thing that I'm a bit behind. But anyway, it's things are all fine. I think it's just trying to find, and maybe it's just right now things are obviously the weather's changing a lot, and I'm also like work is a little bit slightly more stressful than it normally is. I'm sort of dealing. I've been talking about visa issues a little bit, and that's coming to a bit to a head. So it's trying to see. Oh, hey Robert, how you going? Look in the background as work still. I feel watching is trying useful, but if someone feels like work or obligation, no one will hold it against you for doing less to take a break. Thank you. That's very kind. No, I don't. I certainly don't feel any pressure from folks in chat. I mean that's the reason I enjoy it, and I found everyone very extremely friendly and very welcoming, and just endlessly forgiving of my rant of streaming, especially the last few weeks. I think has felt a little bit scatterbrained, I guess. But so no, it's not coming. I think it's coming from me, and it's coming from I like to do things properly, I guess. Ultimately, like either do something properly or don't do it at all. So yeah, I might try a real change. So I will think about it. And but anyway, this week it's going to be a little bit of a thing. Oh, Nicholas, thank you. Yeah, congrats on Spy Connection. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I don't know. I guess it must be releasing quite soon. It should be releasing in 1 or 2 months, I hope. Where did you see it? Did you see it on Board Game Geek or something like that? Also, actually, just a random point that other folks. It turned out Board Game Geek tweeted out on Sunday, I think, that they have just surpassed 6 million. 6 million images in the Board Game Geek database, and it just turned out by complete chance that the 6 million image is a cover of one of my games it's the Brazilian version of this game, which was sort of a funny little coincidence. So they've surpassed, the 6 millionth image was one of my games, which is sort of funny. Take care, Rasmus. Have a nice evening. Enjoy your dinner. Ross says we also think about ways we make way more than the people who consume them. I think you're definitely right, Ross. I think I'm trying to put myself in the view of how I watch streams, which is, I come in and out and I watch when I can. I'm not there all the time, and I'm just happy that the person's there. I don't even worry what they're really doing, and I need to think about that being the same thing. But yeah, it's just funny. I don't know. It's a weird set of things, and I think also I'm not naturally like an extrovert, so this is also a funny thing that I'm doing. But I still enjoy it. So we shall see what we shall see. But anyway, with all of that, I think I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you all really for dropping in as always. I hope you'll have a wonderful evening. Everyone head over to Ross's stream in a little over a couple of hours, I think. Yes, it's about 5 p.m. UK time right now. It's 7 p.m. UK time. Check out more games, please. I will find a link to shout out Ross in the to shout him out in the chat. Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of assuming that most people here know Ross and know his stream, but go and follow Ross if you haven't. Do it now. And yeah, let's go and raid someone. Say hi to someone. If anyone has Claire Llewellyn is playing. She's a nice musician, and she hasn't been streaming around this time for a while, so maybe we'll drop in on Claire and say hi. But thank you all as always. Hope you'll have a nice evening. Enjoy Ross's stream if you're going to watch it, and I'll see you on Bez's stream tomorrow morning if anyone is there, and I'll be back on Wednesday morning for the normal Board Game Cuppa stream. So thanks all, and take care, and let's go off and raid Claire. See what she's doing. Cool. Let's go. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.